Hey Facebook, I'm not quite sure what went wrong there. So good evening, my little live tribe and my replay renegades. It's been a while. I think it's maybe been 2 weeks. Apologise for that. I've had some stuff that I needed to focus on and concentrate on, and sometimes I have to take a little bit of time out to focus on me, so that I can then focus on you. In the last couple of weeks, since I've done a few of my lives, I've actually been approached in person by quite a few different people for different reasons, and been told how inspiring I am, and that people love my honesty and love that I'm doing the lives. I am going to continue to do them. Somebody even suggested a YouTube channel. Still not sure if I'm ready for that kind of fame, but I might give it a go. You never know. Anyway, on a more serious note, I want to talk about bullying tonight. And the reason I want to talk about it is because I went through it when I was younger, and to the point where we actually moved from Bishop Auckland to Barnard Castle because of the bullying. Not just, there was a couple of other contributing factors as well, but the bullying was the main thing. I was very academically clever. I was the SWAT. I was incredibly proud to be the SWAT at primary school, until I got to Bishop Barrington, where literally in a class of 30 kids, my tutorial class, we had maths and English together. If I didn't take home everybody's maths homework and bring it back for the next lesson with different handwriting, different coloured pens, different mistakes and stuff, I used to get beaten. I've had my head flushed down the toilet. I've had all of my clothes taken after PE sessions when I've been in the shower and literally been left with a towel. I've been punched in the side of the head several times. I've not had any broken bones, but I've been beaten. One of the worst cases where I was punched in the side of the head and my earring ended up stuck in the back of my neck, and it had to be removed. I was bullied by the girl next door. She used to leave me horrible notes in the landing window because our landings faced each other. She made my life hell. She really did. And I think a lot of the things that we don't understand about bullies when we're being bullied is that it's not about us. There's nothing wrong with us. There's something wrong with them. If you're being bullied, then you need to tell somebody to start with. If you can't talk to your parents, tell a friend, tell a teacher, tell an older kid at school, tell somebody, because it's not on. It doesn't need to be happening. But there is something wrong with the bullies, not something wrong with you. It's like I said in one of my other videos, you will always be too much of something for everybody and anybody. So it could be a case of you're too pretty, you're too skinny, you're too clever, you're not what they are. But it could be the fact that the way they see themselves is that they're too fat, they're too thick, they've got something going on in the back of their lives. Their life at home, excuse me 2 seconds, the dog's chewing something. What are you eating? Don't eat that! Sorry. They might have things going on in their private lives at home where they can't cope and their emotions are running wild and they lash out at school. And unfortunately, you're the person that they choose to lash out at. But you don't need to deal with it. No, sorry, you don't need to, not that you don't need to deal with it, you don't need to put up with it. You can deal with this. You can't always choose what happens to you in your life, but you can choose how you react to it. You can choose how you deal with it. And if you're at a point where you can't talk to parents, you can't talk to friends, message me, talk to me. I will help you. And I promise this. One of the things with being bullied at school is that a lot of people, and especially a lot of parents, oh, it's just bullying, it's just, kids have got to go through it. Bullshit. They don't. If we all make an effort to teach our kids to be compassionate, to be kind, to be loving, then I wouldn't have had the conversation I had last night when I was at work in the pub with somebody who's being bullied in the workplace. Bullying of any shape or form is wrong, and it's not on whatsoever. But if we teach our kids, and we are taught as kids, not to bully and to be more compassionate, to be more understanding, and to reach out to people, then bullying in the workplace wouldn't happen. I spoke to somebody last night who is being bullied in the workplace and has made the step to change their employer in order to get away from the bullying. But bullying in the workplace, I personally think is worse than bullying at school. Because kids can be cruel, they really can. But a lot of the time, kids don't understand the effects of what they're saying. They don't understand that when they point at another kid because that kid's fat, or they point at another kid because they haven't got the latest shoes or designer clothing, kids don't understand how damaging that can be. But adults do. They know better. But again, it's not because there's something wrong with you, it's because there's something wrong with them. And as adults, they seriously need to get some help for it. Because if they think they're going to go through life bullying their way through life, karma's going to come a knocking. And pardon my French, but that bitch bites. If you're an adult, or even a child, but if you're an adult in a workplace and you're either being bullied or you know somebody who's being bullied, you need to step up and do something about it. I'm not suggesting you pull the bully into the car park and knock 7 bells of stuffing out of them, but within all workplaces you have procedures and policies. You have whistleblower policies, you have ombudsmen, you have governing bodies, you have superiors. In my experience, quite often, it's the superiors who bully. And just because they're in a position of power doesn't mean to say they have power over you. You have the right to go to work in a safe environment, in a happy environment. I'm not saying you have the right to enjoy your job. No, hell yeah, you do. You should enjoy your job. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. But when there's bullying going on, there's something called the bystander effect. And it's kind of like where you see something happening and you watch it happen, but you don't do something about it. You're a bystander. But if we actually started standing up for each other and having some input, how would that affect things? Now, a lot of people turn around and say, well, I didn't do anything because I was worried about the consequences. I was worried about the reaction of the bully in the workplace. Does that mean that they're going to start and reflect their attention on me? Am I going to start getting bullied? But the safety in numbers. And if you've got a bully in the workplace, especially a superior, if you all get together and you start challenging their behaviour in your personal development reviews, in your team meetings, in your staff meetings, hell, do it anonymously. Write them a letter, type it out so it's not in anybody's handwriting, leave it on the desk. Tell them how bad they're being, tell them how they're affecting people, but also find out who their superior is. But not just who their superior is, who the superior of the superior is. Go higher. You have a HR department, human resources in every single workplace. Go to them. They are, although they'll be employed by your employer, they are independent of the people that you're working with. It's their responsibility to protect you from bullying. It's also their responsibility to protect you as a whistleblower. Now, when I was bullied back in the first year of comprehensive, a lot of people saw what was going on. A lot of people were bystanders, and they stood around and they watched what happened to me. A lot of people joined in, called me names, threw things. And those people now, some of them, have well and truly had their karma, because they've had things go incredibly wrong in their lives. And to me, they've had what was due. I haven't had to do anything. I didn't do anything. I got to a point where the last bullying incident that I remember coming out of Bishop Barrington, we came out onto, I used to walk home. We didn't live too far from the school. I always used to walk a different route every night so that the bullies didn't know where I was going, so they couldn't ambush me, which happened quite a lot. And the last time I was bullied, a girl had come up from behind me and she'd punched me in the side of the head in the temple, and it really sent me dizzy. And I fell to the floor, and fortunately for me, a teacher from upper school had seen what was happening, slammed on his brakes, jumped out of his car, picked me up, went kind of batshit crazy with the kids that were bullying me and beating on me, and you know, asked me if I was alright and everything. I said, I'm just a little bit dizzy, but it's okay, I can get home. And he's like, well, where do you live? So I told him. He said, we'll get in the car. And I was like, I kind of know you're a teacher at school, but I want to walk home because I don't really know you. Anyway, I almost fainted again, so he bundled me in the car and took me home. And my mum and dad knew that I was being bullied, but they didn't know how bad it was because I hadn't told them. And not that I was scared to, I was not in no way, shape or form scared to tell them that I was being bullied, but they had a lot going on. My dad was, he wasn't a paramedic at the time, he was a cardiac technician, and what that man did in his day job will always amaze me, the fact that he never brought it through the front door home. He always left what dealt through the day, through the night, outside. Never affected our family, and I will always admire that man for that. My mum was looking after 3 kids, running around working probably about 19 jobs because mum's always worked, and you know, I didn't want to give them more stress and more pressure and more things to worry about. They had me and my 2 sisters at different ages, but that was definitely my biggest mistake, in not telling my mum and dad that I was being bullied, because I know my mum would have done something about it, and she she really did. My dad was ready to go and beat somebody senseless, or, you know, kind of rip their dad out of the garden and beat them senseless because they weren't sorting kids out, but not necessarily the right way to do with it. But I know mum had done something about it, because she did when I told her, and I got taken home that day. And mum realised how severe the bullying was, and I broke down and told her. She broke down as well, because she felt like she'd failed me because I hadn't told her. You need to tell somebody about the bullying. I have another friend, and he is a good friend, he's been a friend for a lot of years, and he's been through a lot in his workplace. He went to his supervisor and then superior, and a few things changed, and a few things didn't. He's still dealing with a lot in his workplace, but through conversations we've had, things that he's doing to change his life, he's now dealing with what is happening to him. He's not choosing to be bullied, he's not choosing to be the brunt of the jokes, but he's choosing not to let it affect him. He's choosing not to let the bullies win. And I admire that, I really do. And the other gentleman that I spoke to last night, I'm going to arrange a coffee date with him because I think he's awesome anyway. But when he told last night, he sat with his mum and watched my videos, and his mum has told him that he has to listen to what I say. You really are stronger than you think, and you are loved more than you will ever know. And dude, you've got this shit, because I'm here for you, and I am more than happy and proud to stand beside you, behind you, and wherever you need me to be, because I won't tolerate bullying of my friends, people that I know and like. And I don't want to drag this out too long, because but what I do say is that you know somebody that's being bullied, or you know somebody who is being bullied, let's do something about it. If you need my help, drop a message. All of you are more than more than welcome to have my phone number. I don't always answer the phone, but text messages, Facebook messages, I will help you. If you're a kid watching this, it will get better. It will get a lot better if you tell your parents or your teacher or an older kid at school. I have some young friends that tell me an awful lot about what goes on some of the schools. I have actually been in school with two of my friends in different incidents, because I had to care as their coach and they didn't want to get their parents involved. So I got involved at their request. So they were amazing about it. And while I couldn't discuss certain things because I'm not a parent, I made the school very aware of what was going on, and very aware that if they didn't deal with it, that I would go higher and I would make sure they dealt with it. And they did deal with it. In the workplace, people that you work with on a daily basis, you don't have to be friends with them, you don't have to socialise with them, you don't have to out drink with them, you don't have to buy them cake at lunchtime, although if you worked with me, that's a must because I love cake. But if you're working with somebody who's being bullied, reach out. If you've been bullied by the same person, or you've been in a similar situation, tell them. The worst feeling in the world when you're being bullied is to feel like you're alone, and to feel like you're dealing with it on your own. Knowing that somebody else is there for you, or has experienced what you're experiencing, or is prepared to stand behind you when you do it, honestly, that's all such joy. It really, really does. But it's not just in the workplace and in school, it can be in life as well. And I think in a way we're all slightly guilty of a little bit of bullying. Things like the body shaming that I talked about before, or criticising what somebody's wearing. I don't know, I guess being a human being sometimes really pees me off, because we can be really nasty. But I think we all need to take the effort to be kinder, to be more supportive, and to want each other a little bit more. I'm not suggesting that you go around with people, but hey, Alex, if you see me, please give me a that driving house. My kid hug me all the time, and that just puts me on an absolute high. But being there for somebody and being a bit more loving and a bit kinder goes a long, long, long way. And if we all work together in supporting each other, we really could wipe out bullying. Because, like I've said, people who bully and kids that bully, something wrong with them, not wrong with you. Maybe we should reach out to them and go, Beth, what do you do on a daily basis that makes you be mean? Because if we can help them sort their shit out, then we get rid of the bullying altogether, because we solve the problem. Oh. I'm going to end it there because I've got to prepare for my new venture in the morning. I am getting up at silly 8 o'clock to go and help some amazing people fulfill some of their goals. So I'm going to leave you for tonight and just remind you today what people said to you or did you, that I believe in you and I love you as well. Now it's time for you to love you and for you to believe in you as well. So on that note, good night Facebook. I will see you all very soon. I'm not going to leave it as long. I think I've got some of my shit together, so pardon my French if you are one of my younger people watching. I haven't said any bad words, but if you're on here, your parents know what I'm like, so it's okay. So look after yourselves, guys, and big, massive hugs, squeezes, squishes, and don't forget, hugs in the street are awesome. Alright, yeah, right. I don't know why it's gone, but yeah, why it's high. And I'll reply to your current stuff. And for those of you who give the feedback that you have, I just want to say a massive thank you, because I was really nervous about that to do these, and I was challenged to do them, but I am doing them now because of what you guys have said, and because the fact that I know I'm helping you guys, that makes me feel awesome, and that's all I want from life. So, good night, Facebook.